greet my listeners first. Hi everyone, welcome to our segment of Finding Beauty in Your Skies and the Unspoken Truth family. This is your beautiful host HelenZanele Chico. Remember, this is a safe place where we share our pain, our past traumas without judging each other. So, I'm so excited. Today, I'm not alone. I'm interviewing my gorgeous, my loud, my amazing sister, Osisimo Limbata. I'm not going to introduce her. She's going to introduce herself. Ukuthi ubani, uphumaphi, uyenzani. Then we'll take it from there. Hi, Sismo.
Hi.
I'm so excited for this interview.
How are you?
I'm good.
And hi to your listeners. Can you hear me? My voice is a bit... Oh.
No, I can hear you. Definitely I can hear you.
Okay. I've been away at a team building strategic conference this week. So it included a lot of activities, a lot of shouting, of course, screaming. Yeah. So my voice is 5-2 tapping out. But we can get through this.
Please drink hot water because please, if your voice can't fail me right now.
No. We're good to go for now. We're good to go.
Please tell my listeners, who's Molly? Who's this gorgeous lady behind this wonderful voice?
So Molly is... Wow. Molly is an MC. Molly is an aspiring voice over artist. Molly is a hostess. Molly is a facilitator and a learning partner.
Mm-hmm.
And Molly is just a God-fearing woman who is on a journey with God and who is on a journey to heal and just taking it one day at a time.
That's true. And also, guys, she's my prayer partner at Jesus Girl Gang. Yes, please. Gang. She's my partner. The reason why Sismole I asked to interview you, I'm your silently cheerleader. Now I'm taking out my secrets. I'm silently praying for you and rooting for you. And I'm like, okay, I see her. She's out there doing her thing, emceeing, doing voiceover. Always, she's out. Coma team building. She's securing the bag, guys. You know. And I don't know the deep Molly. You know. Since it's a month of June, it's a youth month. I would love young people to learn a few things from you, how to overcome your fears, how to move away from the pain that you heard while you were growing up, your childhood trauma, and like I just want you to put us in your shoes. Ukuze ube la ukhona. Like what happened? How did you overcome your pains, your frustrations? How did you overcome your fears? Like, just take us through your journey to be where you are today.
Sure.
I know.
How long do we have?
We have an hour or so.
Okay, good. I'm up for it, but we're going to have to break it down into segments because I feel like when you're having a conversation with a person that is over the age of 30, they have lived a life and a half. And
That's true.
To compartmentalize everything that has happened, you know, and sometimes there's a lot that we've gone through that we have forgotten about because we have decided to block it out. But the phenomenal thing, I'll always say that the human brain is a beautiful thing. It's phenomenal. We block it out, right, in our minds because we try and forget about it. But the reason why we experience things like triggers as humans is because the heart, it doesn't forget. So that's why we'll find sometimes you will be in your 30s, living your best life, and you will suddenly be triggered by something that reminds you of a traumatic incident that you suffered or went through in your childhood years, you know, when you were still like 5 or whatever, and then you find yourself breaking down as this whole put together person. You literally break down because you don't have a way or mechanism of dealing with or surviving that, because you thought it was gone, you know. You thought if you didn't have to think about, you know, what was done to you, how it made you feel, and, you know, the people that did it, you know, you thought it was okay. But all of a sudden, you know, life punches you in the face.
Then you get triggered again.
And it reminds you that, okay, it's fine. You are out here acting like God. We're not trying to forget people and block them out. But we miss the fundamental element of healing. And I feel like as a society, we literally don't understand the process of healing. Because in order to come out of a situation or to change something, we easily step into, how do I get over this? But we don't want to go through this, because the going through is the healing part, because that's what comes with acknowledging the pain and facing it head on, acknowledging the emotions that it comes with and facing it head on. And once you do that, you know, it means you get to a point where you are able to speak about the situation, you are able to relay it to someone else, and you are able to do so without crying. That's and then true. You know that you have healed.
So how did you discover that you are healed from certain parts that you went through in your journey of healing?
I feel like I'm not even healed.
Okay.
Yet. Okay. I'm not healed yet. I put a yet because I think I want to take it as a work in progress. That's why I'm saying I'm a person who is on a journey with God.
Yeah.
Because God and Christianity was introduced to me in a certain way when I was very young, you know. And sihamba Sunday school, sifunda ma memory verse, you know. And I never really understood the core concept or functionality of this amazing belief and relationship with God, and how it can work for me, because I then grew up and became a teenager. I went to high school, and there were challenges that I would face, but you know, because of not understanding this that I'm walking with and how it can work for me, you know. So there's a lot of things that have happened that have even made me want to give up on my faith and be like, oh God, but no, can't he? When utanda banjani, you know? And yeah, you know. So I feel like, and I'm literally in a space in my life right now, which is a very, I'm not sure if I can say fulfilling, but I'm very content with where I am right now.
Oh,
because okay. I'm learning to heal, you know. I'm learning to face those things that happened that I ignored head on. I'm learning to stop and feel the emotion. I'm learning to cry when I need to cry. I'm learning to scream when I need to scream, because sometimes you just need to
yeah, to let it out, like yo.
Yes.
Molly, please.
But more than it's very magnificent what God is doing, because more than anything, I'm learning to forgive.
Oh, I was about to come there. Yes.
And forgiveness now in our levels. Why? Because
that's true.
And then you know, I realized this was wrong, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you forgive them. But the kind of forgiveness I'm dealing with right now is forgiveness of people that never ever came back to ask for forgiveness.
Oh.
For people that never ever knew or thought or saw themselves as wrong. for people that broke me, and still came back to me and expected me to accept them and love them and welcome them. So all these hurts, when they build up, so as a person that has been exposed to the Christian journey, all these hurts, when they build up and these things keep happening, like all these things, they keep happening, you get to a point where you're like, no man, God, come on now, what's going on? What are we doing? Why are we not blocking some of these things out? Why am I getting so many all at once?
Yeah, you're like, God, why me like why me?
Yeah, like why me now? Like remember, God gives the strongest soldiers. Why me? I'm telling you, strongest soldier,
Yeah, I hear you.
So it got to a point where at some point for a long time, I even stopped going to church. I couldn't pray, and not because being under voice, but because when I opened my mouth, I didn't know what to say. Because when I thought about the amount of pain that I'd been through, over and over, and how people hurt me, and funny enough, that's why I can say yes, God. And funny enough, when the people still come back to you, there isn't even like that feeling of resentment. I resent you because I hate you because you did this to me. Instead, we are mamgela. It's just so. I'm currently in that phase where I feel like I am proactively healing because I've decided, I've made a conscious decision to, and I am choosing every day to be consistent in making efforts and sticking to my healing.
Nyaguzo, you're saying you are forgiving those who hurt you or who are hurting you, but have you ever forgiven Umoli personally for what she has allowed or for what she's still allowing in her personal space, especially when it comes to forgiveness and in her journey of healing?
So I feel like forgiving Umoli, that's where it all started. Because we make a lot of jokes about how as Black people, I would never waste my money and go to a therapist. As umtshela ukuthi ngisibheke esipilini ngisforgive ngenzeni mina, we make a lot of jokes about things like that, but
that's true. Yeah,
but when you're actually thinking about the whole process, I cannot begin to forgive Uzanele if I have not forgiven Umoli. As much as Uzanele had wronged Umoli, but Umoli has wronged Umoli also in certain ways. And as soon as I acknowledge my part, and this is where we fail kakhulu as humans, we fail to acknowledge the part that we play in our pain. We owe ourselves, but we fail to take responsibility. If you buy a store, and they promise you that this product, it does this and it does this and it does this, and you get home and you find that product, the two of the things that they say it does. First thing, the next day, as soon as that store opens, you are in store, you are returning it, you are complaining, you want your money back, you are upset because it doesn't do what they said it would do. But when do we look in the mirror and talk to yourself about not doing what you're supposed to be doing? When do we take accountability and responsibility for self? When do we see that we owe ourselves half the things that we go out and look for in the world? We owe it to ourselves, but we don't give it to ourselves. And yet we go out and we look for it in the world. So forgiving Umoli is a first step that I took in this healing journey, because I had to forgive Umoli because I had to go back to that little girl.
Yeah.
And realize those dreams that she had and the things that she wanted to do, And I had to apologize to that little girl where I had gone astray in those things that we had wanted to do, where I had let the world crush me, where I had let people break me down, where I had let people make me feel like my dreams were invalid. I had to go back and say to that girl, "Han, I'm sorry,
we were young and naive.
Let's do this.
I think as you are mentioning it, I think I'm just picking up Uguti, healing the inner child first. It's a first step for you to your journey of healing, because you are not only doing it for yourself, but you are doing it for your kids, especially if unomtwana. It's like you are breaking generational curses when you are healing your inner child. So you mentioning that, you just made me to realize, Uguti, dealing with the younger Molly or the younger Zanele, it
Yeah.
has just opened a lot of parts where you're like, okay, I need to heal this. Okay, I need to go and make myself better there. I just love that part for you to say that. I think we can learn from it. Uguti, we just need not only say, Uguti, my mother did that, but what part did I play to also contribute in what I'm feeling currently, the pain that I'm feeling currently. Wow. The journey of healing, it's not that easy.
It is not at all.
Yeah, it's not that easy. Let's say, for example, there's a young girl, Okule, not in a very friendly environment. Why am I
Yeah.
mentioning this? We are on a youth month. We're coming across a lot of young women or young men. Let me say young men or women who are trying to commit suicide because they don't get enough support from their families, or their mothers are just mistreating them, especially on TikTok, on social media. I just saw something last week, a lady ubhale ku-Facebook yakhe ukuthi uma wakhe, I think umthele ngamanzi atshisayo or umkape something, she's been mistreating her for some years. Let's say the mother decide to come back and build a relationship, but this lady doesn't want to build a relationship with no mawake or no bawake. What can you tell that young woman, especially people that always say family, but other people that don't believe what if family, it's only blood. Do you agree to that statement or not? We are still talking about healing.
I agree. Okay, so you got two.
Yeah.
So I agree to the statement that family is not only biological, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of you can have people that you are not related to, that can treat you well and love you and support you and be there for you, and be consistent in doing so. And then you'll have the people that you are related to by blood, that don't even care. That will hear that you're sick, but will not even take 5 minutes to come and see you.
Ish. That
will not support you, not even financially, but give you moral support, like be there for you. But we're saying, So with that statement, I believe it's my figure lapo uguti.
Yeah.
I can go into the world, and I feel Guti, the reason why is because I am a living testimony to it. My friend always says, Guti, I have a grace.
That's true. That's true.
And for me, I feel like it's one of the ways God saw fit to survive some of the things that I went through, and maybe I'm yet still to go through in life. Because Makuvela, the rift. So going back to your story, is we find this out with my personal experience with my mom, where there was just constant struggle and tension and fighting, and to a point where I literally felt like there is no way this woman could have given birth to me. There's no ways she could have given birth to me, because I feel like it is impossible for her to love me.
Sure.
And yet I can go to my friends' houses. I have two very close friends, Mangia and Magubo, at any time, whether they are there or not. Their mothers will welcome me. will, yazi, they will attend to me. They are supportive of me when I go to them. Ngifuna assistance with anything. They are willing to listen. They are willing to help. It's just, I feel like God wanted me to see ukuthi abantu mabakhuluma about agape love.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it being unconditional, which means it is not tied to a particular person. It means you can go out into the world and any person that has been created by God can love you. I got to learn that I can get a mother's love, not particularly from the mother that gave birth to me, but from the people in my life that have a role. However, in my healing process, because I did need to go back, I never discarded my mom. For the longest time, for a lot of years, I chose to ignore the tension in our relationship. And I made no effort into working on it. I made no effort into trying to fix it because I felt like it was better this way. And then it goes back to the Bible. Malithi izwi, and I love iBhayibheli. I just can't read Zulu very well, but we try. Mhloniphe uyihlo nonyoko ukuze insuku zakho zande ezweni.
Yeah.
It's simple, isho nje kanjalo, full stop. Ayithi mhloniphe uyihlo nonyoko if they spoil you and they give you an allowance and they buy you everything you need.
In like all the way.
Yes. Ayithi mhloniphe uyihlo nonyoko if akaphuzi. Mhloniphe uyihlo nonyoko if uyakhonza. Mhloniphe uyihlo nonyoko if uyasebenza, bangasebenzi ungamhloniphi. It does not give conditions.
No.
It is a simple instruction. Mhloniphe, and all you need to do
it's just respect her. I hear you.
So it brought me back to say I needed to start to understand ukuthi sometimes as people we behave in certain ways because we have become conditioned. When you understand that there are people that have been raised with love and there are people that have been raised with survival. Those two people are two different entire beings. Because lo munye uyalazi uthando. Uyakwazi ukuba in touch nama emotions wakhe because uyazi ukuthi makubhlungu uyakhona ukuthi hayi kubhlungu iyangimaza le. Lo okhule ngesurvival akakwazi ukuba ama emotions, it's a waste of time, it's into irrelevant kuye. If lento ibhlungu ngithola indlela yokuthi ngisuse lento ebhlungu, if ibhodlelo lingihlabile ngiyalikhipha ngivala la ngetissue or ngifaka iplaster and ngiyaqhubeka, life goes on. So from being too in touch with emotions to being not even acknowledging my emotions, two different kinds of people. So I had to realize ukuthi maybe she can't love me the way I want to be loved because she was never loved that way. So maybe the way she was raised never gave her the opportunity to experience lo thando lo lumina esengil expecta kuye as a child ukuthi ang smothering ngalo akalazi akanalo akaze wal experience akaze wezwa ngalo so uzongipha lona kanjani. So it took me acknowledging that maybe she is not like this because she chooses to be like this, but this because she doesn't know any better. So Mina as my mother, and as per the instruction in the Word of God, I have to respect her. Even if it means I don't love her, but I have to respect her.
Because she's your mother.
And God does. I always laugh sometimes because I always say I want a sense of humor at God.
We are the fourth person opening a sense of humor last this week. I think it is. I got you, sis.
The man upstairs, the sense of humor.
It's kind of cute.
When you follow the basic instruction of respecting this person, so I got to a point where I literally detached my feelings when dealing with this person, and I just dealt with her from a point of ukumhlonipha. So mayethe ucela into kanje ngivele ngiyenze ngiphume kuye, you know, without attaching any emotions, without having any expectancies of a hug or expectancies of umuntu ozokutshela ukuthi I'm proud of you, or I stopped having expectations and I just did what I needed to do. You know, that's it. But Mau deal with the person in the form of ukuthi uyamhlonipha. You will find that what gradually starts to happen, ukuthi uzomthanda. Umhlonipha kwakho will change the feelings you have towards this person.
Respect builds love.
Yes. Yes. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually over time. Koda, you start to ukumthanda, and the way you treat them now becomes influenced by how you feel about them. And one day, you look back and you'll see, gosh, but you know, I experienced so much love with my mother in these years. So when I chose to engage in that way, Yoguti, yes, she might have hurt me. Yes, she might have done this. Yes, I might be upset. I might feel that I don't want a relationship with her because of this reason. What. But Eklonipen is Elise because she's my mother. And another thing we don't realize is that as much as they hurt us, we have become so entitled to people succumbing to if we think something is right or what is wrong. But we don't realize they have their own thoughts, their own feelings, they were raised in their own ways. And wrong. Where in the history have we seen or heard with abazali bayaxolisa?
But Sis Molly, I think it's a how can I call it? It's a culture that needs to change, though.
It does, but that change will come with us. We will be those parents because we know better now. So that is why when we are raising our kids, we don't have to put them through what our parents put us through. We have to be different. We have to address situations differently. We have to, you know, sometimes I look at when I speak to my son and then I'll think, I feel like the way I dealt with that situation, that is exactly how my mom would have dealt with it. And I can't be like that. I can't be like that. Then I'll go back and try to remedy the situation and do things differently. So, as much as I'm saying, yes, our parents can hurt us. Take the time out that you need to heal. But when you are healing, pray until you are right. Because at the end of the day, our blessings, those are the blessings. Our blessings are in their hands. And if your parent can't speak a blessing over your life, you will never get that blessing ever again. No matter all, you can slaughter all the sheep, all the goats, all the chickens in the whole world, you will never get that blessing again. So, kwata, if I hurt, dealer, healer, but come back to the reality. As long as you know, as long as it's the parents that gave birth to you, no matter what they do to you, because
you just hit a nerve. Yeah. You're not talking about mothers. My relationship with my mother, it's not that good. So you think like she gets into my last nerve, and you saying that you're making me to say no, man, Zanele. Maybe that's why everything is just handy because of that.
Yeah.
Because
I actually start to see, I start to appreciate my mom. I'll do the littlest things for her. Sometimes like just send her 100 rand or just do you need anything? I think I'll get her bread or whatever. And every time I do just even like a little thing, and she'll say thank you so much, Molly. God must bless you. You know? And sometimes she'll say, I release a blessing over you and over your job.
My God.
And the things like that, we can take them for granted. But for me, I'm beginning to realize the value of those things,
Yeah.
For her to speak such a blessing, we understand. So, and I never thought in my life, if I look back a few years from now, I never would have thought we could get to such a place with my mom.
So do you think she's noticing her mistakes, she's coming around and wanting to make things better with you?
I think it might not even be that she's noticing her mistakes, but I feel like Mina, I am becoming because then I told her she's just living the way she's always lived, right? But Mina, because I would complain and say, yeah, but when you do this, I feel like you don't love me. I feel like you hate me. I feel like because they feel Latina, yes, they feel Latina.
Yeah.
Sing about feeling children. We feel, So I think somewhere along the line, it would because there was a point where I was once admitted for, I think it was I was on the 2-week program. I was admitted for depression and anxiety. And I feel like it bothered her, Ugusi, why would it need to get so severe to an instance, Ugusi, needing at me, and she doesn't even know what I'm dealing with or half the things I'm going through,
Yeah.
So she would come, and she would religiously come and visit me. But what I would notice, she would browse through my file, because we had a file that we had a file that we worked on. So when we had our group sessions, when we did activities, when we were writing notes or whatever, it would be in the file. So every time Mageza, she wanted to know what we did that day, so she would just take the file and Mina, in my sessions, the one thing I told myself is that I've gotten to this place now, and for me to refocus and start healing and start moving to the right direction, I need to be completely honest with myself. And I'm not here to buy face. I'm here for my own healing. So in my sessions, I was completely honest. When we had to write things down about how I felt about what, I would write it out exactly how I felt. So when she was reading that file, she was getting the core of my real feelings. So even though she never read and confronted me about it afterwards, but she knows. She read it and she knew. So that's why Giti, as much as you're saying, Guti, she's trying to make up for her mistakes.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's trying to do better, It's possible that, maybe now that she knows, Guti, what am I sensitive to? What are the things I don't like or whatever, she is doing better, I think one of the things also, so my mom was my worst critic, especially when it comes to my weight. Because I've never been like, a small child. I've never been So she would say the meanest things, like they were so horrible.
Oh my God, Molly.
And like sometimes you say no, man. Even if it was to a person or a person that's my enemy,
you will never get like to that state of saying horrible words.
I would never speak like that. Exactly. So how can my own mother? But then I got to understand as I'm growing that sometimes some of the things because young zone, but I quickly pay attention to it. I quickly pay attention to what is being said, wrong,
So
Yes,
do you,
she could have done it.
yeah.
She could have done it better. There's a lot of different ways it could have gone, but because she doesn't know any better, it's okay. I know better, so I will choose not to dwell on that. You know. So that's like it's a sense of humor. Uncle is very funny because from a child that was broken down the most from the mother that gave birth to her about my weight, but now my self-confidence and self-esteem is out the roof. Mina, you
Dude,
can't
tell
tell
me
me
about
anything.
it.
You
Yeah,
cannot. You can't tell me anything. Listen, Futi,
your confidence, it's
if
more
you're
than
trying to hit
100.
me, if you're trying to hit me and you want to come tell me about my weight, try again. Like, give me something else. If you're coming at me, don't come at me about my weight. Come at me about something else. Then we can talk. You know,
Yeah.
because I will not be moved. I will not cower. I know. I stand firm in knowing who I am and being proud of that. And partly because my dad would always say, "Ukuthi, umuhle." Just know, my mom would shout and she'd say these things, and you know. And as I'm sitting there, my dad would say, "You are beautiful, my baby. Uyisidudla esihlidudla ziyathandeka.
Aww.
Uyisidudla esithandekayo." And I was doing zonke lezi zinto, abo makeup, ama eyelash, ama in, umuhle nje. So even like with my body, I would just tell myself, as long as I am healthy and as long as I can still find a size in you know,
Then
life
I'm.
goes on. Life goes on. So
Do you?
now she's also become one of my cheerleaders, I guess.
Oh,
But I'm just glad that I all those things, they never broke me. They never broke me. And I'm just glad that
instead they
God
built
decided to work that situation out the way that He did. Because now, not only am I not broken and not only am I fully confident, you know, but I'm able to help those around me that aren't.
Do you think this whole thing has made you a better mother and a better sibling, a better friend and a better colleague?
Hey,
I know.
I don't know. You know, I don't know if I can say I'm a better mother, a better sibling, a better what, because sometimes I make decisions and then which I doubt myself. You know, I make decisions which I question, and I make decisions that I go back on, and sometimes because emotional intelligence, it doesn't. I have age, I experience, I happy, you know, and I feel good to me. I'm a highly emotional being, so sometimes it's very hard for me to control and curate my emotions when it comes to certain situations. It's gotten me in trouble a lot of times. I've lost friendships, I've lost relationships with people, you know. But I just take it in my stride and I say it's a learning journey. I mean, when something happens, I assess, I acknowledge the part I had to play in it, the mistake I made, I learn from it, I move, you know. If you're gonna hold it against me, you're gonna hold me accountable to the Lokala, it's up to you and your God. But Mina, I move, I ask for forgiveness, I forgive myself, and then I move. But I can never say it's making me a better anything. I'm just a person, man, who's learning, because every day, you know, you get to deal with something that you've never dealt with before. So I might now say that I'm a good sibling, I'm a good sister to my brothers, but I don't know what might happen tomorrow, and I don't know. I can't stand today and say I will be confident and ready to deal with whatever because you know. But I'm just saying, purely by the grace of God, I've been able to survive up to now, you know, and I'm ready to deal with anything that does happen. In my stride. I mean, if I falter, the one thing I've learned in my journey as well is uxolisa. It's very hard. Uxolisa is very hard because when you go to a person and you ask them to forgive you, you are not only asking them to forgive you so that you can mend the relationship moving forward, but you are acknowledging and you're accepting and you are saying, I was wrong. So as humans, it's hard for us to put ourselves in positions where we can say, I was wrong. So that's why it is hard for most people to ask for forgiveness, because they can't deal with that part assured I was wrong. However, I am sorry. Moving forward, it will not happen again.
Oh, I'm learning something from you today. I told him, I only know the bubbly model. I don't know the deep. I don't know why you're hiding the deep one, but please.
Because the deep one comes with tears, and I don't want to cry all the time.
No, we need to cry and move on, sis. Honestly, we need to cry and move on. We need to embrace. That's why when Mangizanele Kamuguti, finding beauty in your scars, not just outside scars, but internal scars, as Ushu Uguti, you are learning something from your relationship with your mother, your other relationships with other people who abakuphule inhliziyo. Like, I'm just listening to you. I'm like, Omale, she's been hiding this from us. How cruel of her. How cruel of you to hide that from us. Honestly, this is a beautiful, like, you're making me to reflect, honestly. Uza umntana omncane uthi Sisimoli, please mentor me to be a better young woman. How are you gonna mentor that young, especially emotionally? Ushaya umjolo. She's being bullied by her friends. They keep on saying she's not beautiful. A lot has been happening in Pilweni. She got raped and all that, and she's asking you to mentor her, to help her in the journey of healing, while yourself you're also in the journey of healing. How are you gonna deal with that?
I feel like these words that we use for roles, we use them sometimes without understanding, because as you're saying this, I'm thinking back to when I was still younger, like very younger, before I even had Kagiso. And there were people that would say, please mentor me. And I'd be like, yeah, definitely, let's do this. And now I'm looking back and I'm thinking, God forgive me, I failed those people, because at that time, I didn't even understand the amount of responsibility that comes with that word.
Sure.
To mentor is to guide, is to support, is to align, is to assist, And I feel like, first of all, it's important also as a person, when you come to a person and say, I would like you to mentor me, you have to come already with a plan to say, this is what I want to achieve, and this is where we are going, this is where I want you to help me to get. Then we come together with a plan of, okay, this is how we'll do it. But sometimes we just loosely use the term and we say we want this mentoring, and then it's gonna say pelelanje emoyeni. So first of all, because Nami, I am a flawed individual that is also on a journey, I would not agree to mentoring the person, but I would agree to a sisterhood with the person. Let me be your friend. Let me be available. Let me be there for you when you want to talk about whatever, whenever. Wake me up at 12. Wake me up. Call me whenever you are feeling sad. Let's laugh together. Let's cry together. Let's pray together. Let's go through these challenges and things together in a way that will not only leave you different, but in a way that will leave me different as well. So where I work, I train people and I always say in the beginning of a training session or beginning of an induction, depending how long it will be, I always say, when I start a new training journey, it's never one-sided. So it's not only them who are coming into the session to learn and will leave different or with certain knowledge they never had before, but each and every training intervention that I embark on is a learning journey for me as well. Because I'm dealing with different people all the time. And I'm learning different ways of how to deal with different people all the time. So each and every experience, each and every training experience will never be the same.
It will never.
It will never be the same, because the experiences are different, the feelings, the emotions what we go through is different, in that session. So
Mm.
technically what we learn will be different, and what we come out of that session. So I would rather embark on a journey to heal and grow with a person than take the responsibility of mentoring a person and allowing them to fully put the responsibility of their journey on me. Because that's what we do. When we say a person must mentor you, you expect them to work their magic in your lives, to come into your life and say, do this, do that, don't do this, let's do. And yet it's actually a role that you need to take the full responsibility for. But the person can be there to support you and align you, because they know the goal, they know where we are going, what we're trying to achieve. So when they see that you are falling to the side, they can bring you back because they know what we're trying to do. But if you don't even give me a goal, this is what we're trying to do, then I can't mentor you. But if you are in a space, like if you're in a dark space, and I always say, I feel that not only have I been privileged enough to experience God's agape love, I continually experience God's agape love in my life. Yeah. But I feel like He is using me to give other people an experience of Him or His love as well. Because I give healing hugs. I give healing hugs. I will hug you in a way that will just take away your stress and your tension and your frustrations, even if it's just for a few seconds. I will hug you in a way that will make you feel warmth and comfort, and even if it's and love, even if it's just for a few seconds, because you don't know how many people are walking around that have not even been hugged in a week
or in years,
let alone a day, let alone exactly yes. So I'm a hugger. I say this all the time, and it's so weird because I work in the corporate industry, and you know how corporate everything is so serious, and people will just handshake and people. But I feel like everyone up to the CEO in my company just knows that there's that loud girl in training. She will walk up to you, she will hug you. I will walk past my CEO's bodyguards and be like, KGP, how are you? And I'll give him a big hug, smile, greet, walk past, because that's the kind of person I am. And I feel like I'm not going to change that, because there's a reason why God is making me like that, because there are so many people out there that need to experience His love the way I have experienced it. Those people might not be fortunate enough to be able to go into a church and experience it, to be able to find, a spiritual home and experience it, to be able to, but let them, even if it's a second that they meet me, let them experience it in that second. And that's why I say my goal is to impact lives, that when you meet me, I can't leave you the same. There has to be something that changes in our interaction. When I come in, we are chatting in the taxi, but when I call myself a life changer. So when people say, what do you do? I don't say I'm a trainer. I'm a life changer, because I change people's lives. I impart knowledge if I need to.
Not shy to say it. Just say it good. I'm Molly the healer. Because our healing journey comes in a very different way.
Yes.
Your smile. Every time when I see your pictures when you're smiling, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I needed. When I when I hear your loud voice recording, I'm like, oh, this. So basically, you're just a healer. And some of us who have a privilege to be close to you, we are very blessed.
To be able to experience it. I've got a friend I love all the time. Sometimes she'll just call me and then she'll say something a bit that, and I will just laugh. And she says, thank you. That's all I needed to hear. Enjoy your day. I'm like, you are so weird. You are literally. She's like, no, it's fine. That's what I needed. I needed to hear your laugh. Now I'm done. I'm okay.
No, honestly, it's small things. All those are you ever seen, and just people that like to say with me they love my smile, and I don't know why, because I don't even love my smile, but I love to smile. So
and it's a beautiful smile.
Thank you, Seth. There are izinto ezincane ezenza abantu ukuthi when they're looking at you, you just, just like now, I can't wait to finish this recording to listen to it again because what? Because what? Sis Molly, before in closing, how, as a young person who wants to achieve or to be where you are, how should they overcome their fears?
Yo.
What can they do?
First of all, you need to decide. So, as a child of God, I have a stern belief that fear and faith cannot coexist. So it's either I have faith or I orngikwa. One of the two. I can't have both. It's either I'm extremely scared of something or I choose to believe that God will see me through.
Yeah.
And with most of the things that I've gone through and I've achieved and I've put my hand up and I've shakenly gone on stage and I've shakenly taken the mic and I've, and I've done for the first time and I've always chosen that belief to say, you know what, God, let me do this, but I'm trusting in you to see me through with it. So the very first step is to align and know, who are you? If you are a God-fearing child of God, then you decide, are you going to let fear exist or are you going to let faith exist? As soon as you decide to let faith exist, you will see that you will do those things that you want to do and more. And more. Because I go into an experience and I say, I have to decide that I will never take anything as a regret. Me, I don't have regrets. I have blessings and I have lessons. If it wasn't a blessing, it was a lesson because I had to learn from it. And always go back from the learning. Go back for the learning. We say mistakes are good to make mistakes so you can learn from them. But we don't learn. We don't learn. We make mistakes and then we move on. But you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from your mistakes so that you can be better as a person, So for me, yes, I'll try it. And what's the worst that can happen? So when you have a fear of faith dilemma and you decide to choose faith, you usually find yourself dealing with or answering questions like, okay, so if I do this, what's the worst that can happen? Will I die? And if the answer is no, then you find yourself actually doing it, because if I won't die, then A, I can either be better, or B, I can learn something from this.
Fear of unknown.
Yeah.
Stopping us from achieving our goals.
And that is exactly what the devil uses.
Yeah, that's true.
It is exactly what the devil uses.
He uses fear. He uses, what if I fail? What if I don't get it right? He just uses doubts in you. He's just filling you with doubts.
Yes. So it takes you to know yourself and know who you are and what you want to achieve. And most of the time when I do training sessions, especially for groups that I'm going to be training over like certain weeks, and I tell them, before we start with the training, I want you to tell me, what is your why?
Oh,
why are you doing this? Because we can say, I want to work because I want to have money so I can feed my family. Yeah. Everyone has an end to a need, we want to do this so we can get this, we have to do this so we can eat, but I don't want that. Don't give me those reasons. I want your why, because there will be days where it's going to be hard, or it's going to be challenging, or it's going to be difficult, and you will need your why to pull you through, to help you wake up in the morning and realize or remember that this is why I'm doing this. And that will be 10 times more important than just getting a salary or just making a living. So it is very important to understand, why am I doing this? What drives me? What will give me the phenomenal will? What will make me wake up before my alarm clock? Why do I want to get this done? And once you realize that as well, that also helps you, because I mean, sometimes it's awkward and well to say, you know what, I wanna be happy. I just wanna laugh all the time. I just wanna, but sometimes you wake up and life punches you in the face.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you do? Do you go home and cry, or do you choose to say, it's fine, it happened, wipe your tears, and then, hold your head up and then keep walking? Because we tend to focus a lot on the impact of what has happened, and we don't look at what now. Because when we do that, that's why the pain lasts longer. Pain is actually temporary. It's meant to be temporary. When you give up, that's when you give in to having that thing cause you pain throughout the rest of your life. But when you choose to move on from it, then you've learned, and now you can do things differently.
Sure. Sis Molly, can we please have more of this from you? Stop. Today, what I have learned as you were sharing your journey of healing through life, through obstacles, I was writing a few points. The heart does not forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
The process of healing, how does it go? Which channel do you have to take for you to heal? They go through the healing part. That one, yeah, it made me to go back again. As you're saying, which is the journey of healing is a process. Like,
yes,
it comes with segments, it comes with challenges. You also mentioned about forgiveness. In order to forgive other people. And you also said we fail to acknowledge our part in our pain.
Yeah.
You see what I was listening?
You were. You really were.
You see? I was listening and I was writing notes. That's how much.
You really were, because I'm actually looking now that we're almost like an hour, and it literally feels like we've just been having a conversation for 5 minutes. So I feel like almost kuluma, you just go into it and into it and into it, and you don't even realize time.
And that's where you are releasing certain parts of you.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't know I can tackle this. I didn't know I can overcome this. The more you talk about it, the more you are opening like healing parts in your life.
Definitely.
With that being said,
sorry to break your word. Because a therapist once told me that sometimes we want to bottle things up, but when you have experienced something that is causing you pain, talk about it. Talk about it. Whenever you get a chance, talk about it. Not saying stand on top of the roof and shout for the world to hear, but if you have a friend, I mean, if there's a platform like this, if there's anyone that is interested or willing to listen, talk about it, because every time you talk, you are healing.
You are. Yeah. You are. And please, I don't know how to put it, but this podcast has made me to continue with my journey of healing, because I was also scared to talk about my journey of healing until I met my psychologist, and she was like, share your story. You don't know how many souls you're going to save. That's why I get to go away. Don't keep quiet. Continue talking about this. There are young women and men that you're going to save through your journey, through your challenges. It's not only me, but I believe with everyone who come across Umoli, they don't have to see your bubbly side only, but they have to understand where does this bubbly side comes from, so that they can also grow and learn to embrace themselves. Because I just love how you are embracing yourself. I just love how you are loving Umoli. I just love how you are respecting Umoli, how you just feeding her with good energy, with good vibe, with good group of people. So Small, with that being said, thank you so much. I wish you all the best. May you continue, please, being the sparkle in our lives. Because some of us, we need that from you. I get worried. Mama posts his status. I'm like, is she fine? Then after, that's why I'm silently watching you. Then after a
Yeah.
few hours, mang bonu posted it. Okay. I will text my boyfriend, it's babe, usismole akapostanga. Then she was like, he will be like, I don't even know her. I'm like, yeah, I know, but you must know her from now. That's how much kind of energy you are bringing to us. So thank you. I love you. I
No, thank you for
appreciate
letting me
you.
know.
Please, where people can contact you for MCing, voiceover, events, don't me, where can they get
Yes, yes, yes. For now, people can follow me on TikTok. Yes, yeah, I know, right? Actually, my son downloaded that account for me.
what?
Yeah, he was like, girl, I'm tired of you, sitting here and not putting yourself out there. So my handle is at Moles the MC. My
Mm-hmm.
contact details are on there. You can contact me via email, and there's a flyer on there that actually has my contact details. But I can also be contacted via the phone 082 695 6231. And yeah.
Don't you need a PA maybe?
I'm gonna need one soon, so please keep your services open.
No, I'm gonna be your PA. They must not.
Yes, yes. Please keep your
I'm,
services open
I'm
because
already telling myself I'm going to be a PA. So ungasabheki enye ngikhona.
okay, okay.
Please, this money also use this app. Angikudownloadiselanga yona mahala. You must use it for your work also. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
yeah, you can use it, then you create a link, then you send it via Spotify, then you post your link on WhatsApp. We go through Spotify, we'll listen to your work.
Ah, okay.
You see, you
Nice.
need me.
Yes, I do.
You need the whole of me.
I definitely do.
Thank you, Sis Molly. I wish you a beautiful chain of healing. Thank you for getting naked with me.
Mm.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I have learned a lot from you.
Thank you so
Um,
much for having me.
I wish all the best. My listeners, thank you for listening to my segment, Finding Beauty in Your Scars. If you want to share your journey with me, how you have overcome your childhood traumas, your pain, whatsoever, please be free to just contact me on 0676078983 or just follow us on Instagram, Unspoken Truth Family. You just see my segment there at Finding Beauty in Your Scars. May the good Lord continue to bless you, hide you, and shower you with goodness and mercy. I pray for favor upon your life, and I pray for God's grace upon your life. Remember, this is your beautiful host, HelenZanele, to go.
Bye.
The Unspoken Truth is the catalyst for important and thought-provoking conversations that need to be had. The network tackles social ills, spiritual healing, soul-searching, and mental health awareness. To subscribe, click on the show link to follow our podcast and be part of the Unspoken Truth family. Find us on all social media platforms.